Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here at SMITHEE TV in downtown Toronto with creator and executive producer Brough. How does it feel to be nominated for a Canadian Screen Award?
It's great. I've done it before. I'm sort of the Susan Lucci of the Geminis. I tend to lose everything, so fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll win this year. Yeah.
And you've been nominated 3 times before. You won once.
Yeah.
And so, how did that feel?
It's great because it's your peers mostly that are saying you're a good person, right? So, no, it's very nice just to get some validation, I suppose. Yeah.
How did you initially get into the entertainment business?
I started really from the ground up and and did every job in television. I pulled cables, I did audio, I did camera, I did lights, I did boom, I did everything. I got coffee, and sort of figured out my place and what I loved to do and what I didn't love to do. But I learned all the skills of making television, so which really serves me well when I do any kind of shoot, that I can work with anyone and kind of know their world, which is very helpful. It gets respect from them as well as helps me just sort of guide things. And then from there, I went to Chum Television and I got a chance to travel the world and make some really crazy shows. It was a time when City TV was really the Wild West of television in Toronto. Moses Neimer, who ran it at the time, who is his own personality, but he let us play and he let us experiment. And I got to learn how to tell stories across the world and really just learn the so-called craft of television. And then from there, I launched my own small company and now make shows. Yeah.
When you are creating a show, how does that process work?
I'm sort of like a, sit in the hot tub and sort of look at the stars kind of guy, right? And with probably something alcoholic. So, but it's mostly, it's things that just tweak me. I'm constantly I'm looking at anything in a room and it's constantly spinning and it drives my family nuts. So, as I've said to my son who wants to get into the business, my failure rate is probably 99%, right? Because of all the ideas I've had and developed, I've only 1% that have gotten done, right? But even that is a success, right? In the grand scheme of things. So basically, ideas come from things that tweak me personally, things that interest me, and then trying to put a different twist on things, basically.
And going back a little bit, you said that you did all types of jobs in the business.
Yeah.
Early on, were there any people in particular that you worked with or worked for that were sort of mentors for you that inspired you?
Well, let me think. At City TV, there were a lot of good people, diverse group of people like Jeannie Becker, for example, from fashion television. Not my world at all. I worked in that world a little bit, and she taught me a little bit, just watching her in her world, being in a very large, global world of fashion, and how she sort of sifted through that. I grew up on shows like The New Music and things like that. I really love music, and so those kind of people who made sort of run and gun television, so to speak. That's what I sort of grew up on, and got to work with a lot of those people. So yeah.
And you've done a lot of reality TV. What do you think about reality TV really sets it apart for you?
Sets it apart? Well, I think it has a stigma. It certainly has a bad rep, certainly among the drama circles, because I get it. We're taking jobs away from actors and performers. And there's a lot of garbage reality TV out there, so to speak, that is exploitive and really does want to poke at people and really hold them up and say, and expose them, and not that I'm all above that, but I'm sort of not interested in that as much. So, our show, for example, which is called Canada's Greatest Know-It-All, it's tongue-in-cheek, it has a quirky edge to it, but it's a brain game. It allows people who who are self-professed as know-it-alls, who call themselves know-it-alls, gives them a forum to come and prove it, right? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But that's the kind of reality TV I like, is it allows people sort of to rise or to fall on their own merits, and we just create, this world for them to sort of bubble in, right? And I think that's how reality TV is underrated in terms of the skill set of making it in some circles, is that in scripted, there's certainly a skill to creating great characters and drama and all that stuff. It's a totally different skill to set the situation, have non-actors come in and play in it, and then try to create story or develop story or arc characters through that. It's a totally different dynamic, and it's really following the puck and knowing which roads to go down, which is a skill.
Do you find that challenging, and do you direct your contributors much, or how does that work?
No, we never put words in people's mouths. We never do second takes. We never script me personally, ever, because I think it comes across as contrived, not as interesting as real people saying real things. And it's totally challenging because you can't control that world. And it's second by second. You've got to be watching 10 people do 10 things in 10 places all at once, and your story team has to sort of line it all up and go, well, Joe just did X and Fred did this, and so what do we do with that? Which do we follow, and how do we sort of go with that? So it's very much like follow the bouncing ball while owning the ball, right? It's our game, but it's their court to play on, and then we just follow that and try to tell the story as best as we can, which is not easy.
Do you consider yourself a know-it-all?
People have called me know-it-all, yeah. I'm a control freak, which is a form of, there's lots of types of know-it-alls. Yeah. The control freak is one of them. That's me. I know my limits. I know things I can't do really well. The things I can do, I really think I can do them well. So in that way, I am totally a know-it-all, yeah.
When you're on set, is that a running joke where people will be like, oh, you're such a know-it-all?
Yeah, but I surround myself with know-it-alls. Yeah. So our entire core staff are total know-it-alls. And it's the most interesting part of the show really is the battle between production, the know-it-alls in production, and the know-it-alls on camera. Because the know-it-alls on camera it's a challenge-based series, right? So they're constantly trying to figure out our game before we present that game to them. And then when we present the challenge, they try to poke holes in it. They try to find workarounds. They try to prove to us why we're stupid idiots for making this dumb challenge because they're know-it-alls and they could do it so much better. So it's this real constant pain in the ass struggle between a very large group of know-it-alls, which is really annoying but really fun.
And what's next for you after this show? What do you hope to do in the future?
Well, we're hoping for season 3. Developing a bunch of stuff for Discovery Channel and other networks in Canada. So my thing is, I'm not a guy who buys existing formats. I don't buy Amazing Race and make it. There's great companies that do that really well. What I love is creating new stuff. And it's a harder to sell new ideas and convince someone that it's worth to take the risk. But that's what I'd like to do. So I have more wacky ideas. Yeah.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and your wacky ideas online?
Well, for my company, which is called Boxing Cats Productions, it's boxingcats.ca. And then for Know It All, it's discovery.ca, and just follow the links to the show.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again on your CSA nom, and best of luck at the award.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here at SMITHEE TV in downtown Toronto.